Hello, everyone. My name is Moonshine, and I'm the host of today's AMA with SunContract. In today's AMA, we would learn how SunContract blockchain enables transparent and peer-to-peer energy trading, and also explore some of the key token utilities and incentives. So we have Eva and Ayman here with us. So to start with, Ayman, can you kindly introduce yourself and the team behind SunContract?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the invitation. Yeah, my name is Ayman. I'm the Group Strategic Director of SunContract. And SunContract is pretty much an electricity company, but unlike a normal electricity company where they are using the same business model since the dawn of time, since Thomas Edison, where electricity company buy energy and sell it back to the end customer. We created a platform instead, a platform on the blockchain, and where instead of buying and selling, we just put producers and consumer directly in connection to each other, where they can buy and sell their own energy, and they can choose their price, whatever. It's up to them. Decentralization of the energy sector.
Nice. Thank you so much. So my first question is,
Mhm,
SunContract, I see that you guys have been operational since 2018, long before
mhm,
energy tokenization became popular. So what core
mhm.
problem in the European energy market motivated the creation of SunContract, and how has that vision evolved over time?
So back to the classical model of electricity in Europe, at least in Europe, that it is private sector. The electricity is a private sector, but it's still opaque and where the people, the producers and consumers do not have really a bargaining power over the electricity. It's all the electricity company who decides for how much money they buy energy from producers. Could be solar panel owner, could be wind turbine owner, whatever. So the electricity company sets the price of buying and then sets the price of selling of electricity. And you, as a consumer, for example, you don't know where your electricity is coming from, and you don't have any power to negotiate your electricity. You just consume and you receive the bill at the end of the month, and you either pay it or they cut electricity on you. So starting from this point, and this model is very old, and as I said, it's like since Thomas Edison, and it creates a margin that is between a producer and consumer that the electricity company takes. And what does it mean? It means for the producer, he needs to sell at a lower price, and the consumer is buying at a higher price. So with the creation of the blockchain, and because the idea of peer-to-peer exists long before, but we didn't have the technological tool to make it happen. And with the creation of the blockchain, this decentralization, meaning that the producer and consumer can directly act with each other, the blockchain technology enabled us to tap into this new business model. And this business model is like we just simply canceled the middleman, the electricity, the margin that would have been taken by the electricity company. We canceled it, and now the producer and consumer sets their own price, and we just do the settlement. Is just for example, for a consumer, he looks into the platform, and he is like ordering from food from an app. You order, I don't know, pizza from this restaurant, and the app delivers for you the food. It's exactly the same thing. You order electricity from this producer, and we, as an app, deliver for you the electricity because we are electricity company by license. So that's pretty much how was created the SunContract.
Nice. Really appreciate that explanation. So my next question is about this decentralization of the energy. Today many energy projects claim to decentralize energy. So in
Mhm.
practical terms, decentralization mean within the SunContract ecosystem, and how is it experienced by an everyday user?
So okay, let's think about from a producer standpoint, because you mentioned production. So producer can be anyone. could be you, could be anyone who has solar panels on the roof, and for example, produce more than he consume. That excess energy usually gets sucked by the grid, and then he receives a voucher from the electricity company for future consumption. They say, okay, if you consume late in the future more than you produce, okay, don't pay us because you already paid us in advance. Uh, so even that in reality, on the ground, there are multiple producers and multiple consumers. They are not considered decentralized because they are all selling to one point and buying from one point, which is the electricity company. With the blockchain, we gave the power back to the consumer to select his own producer where he can buy from, and also the power to producer to select his own consumer to who he can sell to. So you can even do a private deal. For example, you have solar panels on your roof, and you say, okay, my excess, I want to give it to my mother for free. So you go to the platform and you have a private deal with your mother, and you just put zero price. And boom, your mother is consuming your electricity at zero price. So that's how and all of this, it wouldn't be done without blockchain, because with the blockchain, it made it an economical business model on a national scale, because there was some attempt of peer-to-peer and decentralization on a local scale, on a village or a small community, but it was not economical enough to make it on a national scale. And the blockchain technology pretty much gave us this option to make it on a national scale.
Nice. Thank you so much for that answer. Really appreciate the fact that you guys have the interest of consumers and also producers at how we're creating the product. So now I think my next question is, we know the reality of regulation across the energy market. So how do subcontracts balance technological innovation with the realities of heavily regulated energy markets across Europe?
Yeah, that's an everyday work, huh? That's an everyday work. Because I gave you something also, another information. We are not only regulated as an electricity company, but we are also regulated as a crypto company. You know, in Europe there is this MiCA license. MiCA, every crypto company needs to get a license in Europe, which is good that they created the MiCA license, because instead of getting license in each country where we want to operate, we just get one license and we can serve all of Europe. So this is from the crypto part, because for this model to happen, the peer-to-peer to happen, we need to be wallet provider for producers and consumers, and also we need to be an exchange of our SNC token to euro. This we can talk about later. But yeah, so we are regulated under crypto hat, and also we need to be regulated under energy hat, because in energy it's not like MiCA. It's not just one license in whole of Europe, but you need multiple licenses. Each country you go, you need a local energy license. So I think it is difficult, yes, but it is a good thing. It is a good thing is that that's what it makes us the only ones in the world doing this, first of all. And second of all, it gives more comfort to the customers, because if you are dealing with, if a customer, a producer or a consumer alike, if they are dealing with a company that is highly regulated from both sides, it gives them more comfort, because you have to always remember that this is a new business model. It's not. It came to destroy the old business model, which is happening for hundreds of years. So I think it gives more comfort. It's difficult for us to cope with, yes, but that's how that's the challenges of the job. Huh?
Great. Thank you so much for that answer. So let's get some answers about the P2P marketplace. So I think question I want to ask is, how does Sun contract determine matching between buyers and sellers in the P2P marketplace? Is it
Oh,
purely price driven or location based, or you guys use optimized parameters?
Okay, that's a good question. So the peer-to-peer side, the blockchain part, is just considered as the tip of the iceberg. It's the last piece of the equation. Under the surface, there is a whole AI system that the objective is to predict your consumption and predicts the production of the producer. What does it mean? For example, if you log into our platform, we have an AI system that helps you predict your consumption in a way that you need to answer only two questions. You have to decide, I want to cover my 80% or 50% or 1% or 10%, whatever percentage of your consumption for the next day, 2 days, up to 3 years in advance. So you need to decide the percentage coverage and the time frame. And this can only be possible because of our AI system that is working in the background, that is studying your consumption behavior. Exactly mirroring this to the producer. So the producer also, we have a profiling and AI system that can profile his production so that we can match the production and the consumption. And it's not up to us because the producers and consumer can select each other. You select the producer. You select, for example, this producer can cover 80% of my consumption at 50 euros. So you like his price, you click on him, and boom, you are consuming, you are covering 80% at 50 euros. The remaining 20% will be paid on a spot price and the market price of electricity. So that's how it goes. And yeah, that's it.
I appreciate the clarity to that question because I also really wanted to know how you guys have that done. So the next question I would like to ask is about the small meters and real-time data play. So
Mhm.
what role to play in ensuring that the energy traded P2P actually reflects physical energy flow and not just financial settlement?
I mean, it's all all the grid, at least in Europe, all the grid is connected to each other. So it's not physical. It cannot be physical because there is no cable. What do you mean by physical? You need to install a cable between the producer and consumer, which is impossible because all the grid is already installed by the government. So we, as a electricity company, we are using that same grid. And we know we have a metering point for producers and we have a metering point of consumers, and we are the responsible balancing party in between, because as electricity company, you need, by the law, you need to balance between producers and consumer each 15 minutes. Because if there is an imbalance between production and consumption, you can cause a congestion on the grid and you can shut it down. And also you pay a heavy penalty if there is a mismatch between production and consumption. That's why, like, as I said, the peer-to-peer is just the tip of the iceberg. Behind, there is a whole AI system of prediction and also balancing and also trading of that excess or deficit energy on the exchanges so that the peer-to-peer can happen.
Great. Okay, I understand that now. So I see that unlike traditional utilities with fixed tariffs, some
Mhm.
contracts allow us to set prices. So how does the
Exactly.
platform prevent manipulation, unfair competition, or market
Sorry?
dominance by producers? I said,
Sorry
how
again.
does the platform price manipulation, unfair competition, or market dominance by large producers?
I mean, we don't have very large We have, as I said, is a marketplace. So it's a free market. You can sell your energy at whatever price you want. And if a customer likes your price, we don't care. It's up to you and the customer. We don't intervene in this. And if we intervene, that's when it's no longer a pure market. So we shouldn't intervene. We don't want to intervene, and we shouldn't intervene in the price setting between production, producer, and consumers. It goes even against the essence of decentralization.
Okay, nice, nice. So I think we'll be going back and forth with the architecture and what you guys are really about. So at this point, I would like us to move to the utilities of the Sun contract token? What is
Mhm.
the primary within the ecosystem, and how does it directly connect to the energy usage rather than just speculation?
Okay, so the essence, so the between the producer and consumers, they don't know each other. So it could be anyone producer and it could be anyone consumer. So there is a smart contract between them, and the smart contract does not recognize euros. Okay, it's by architecture, smart contract understand a token. So there is here the SNC token comes into play. It is the mean of payment between production and consumption. Here's the thing: most of maybe 90% of our customers, they don't even know that they are dealing with SNC token. They just pay in euro and get paid in euro as a producer. And we do the conversion in the background to satisfy the smart contract. Because as soon as you turn on the button to turn on the light, you have a metering point that is calculating your electricity. And that metering point is talking to the blockchain. And the blockchain is paying the producer in SNC token. Okay. And the SNC and the producer converts back from SNC token to euro. So the SNC token is the pure definition of utility token. It has no, it has no financial speculation value outside of the platform, unless for buy and hold people, because since it is a pure utility company, utility token, the more countries where we expand to, the more demand on the SNC token to satisfy the smart contract, and the more demand, the higher the value. That's how intrinsically how we can the SNC token appreciate in value. It's based on real economy, not on just speculation.
Okay. So, how do you guys ensure that the token remains economically sustainable over time through user adoption, and when transaction volume grows, how do you guys keep it sustainable?
I mean, you have to understand, keep in mind that the SNC token is fungible, so we can support any kind of transaction, even if the SNC token appreciate, like, I don't know, let's say 1,000 euro one per SNC. The producer and consumer, for example, if they agree on 50 euro, they still gonna be paying 50 euro equivalent of SNC. So for us, it doesn't matter. For us, the SNC token is just the utility token for the platform to operate.
Okay, thank you so much for walking us through that. So, are there incentives in place to encourage long-term holding?
Sorry? Hello? Hello? I think we lost it.
Can you hear me
Hello?
now?
Yes, now I can
Hello?
hear you. Yes, now I can hear you.
I think it was just some issues on my end. So I was asking, are there incentives in place to encourage long-term holding and ecosystem participation rather than just, short-term trading
It
behavior
is
from
it
holders?
is it is planned as I said, we are now operating in Slovenia, so we are only covering the Slovenian market from uh, from electricity standpoint. As soon as we get the MiCA license, so that we are ready to expand to other European countries, at that point in time we will need some incentives. Some maybe liquidity providers for producers and consumers. This is in the program, but for now, for just one market, we are doing this. We are a liquidity provider for that market.
Okay. So I see you
Mm.
guys are actively pursuing the MiCA compliance, like you just mentioned. So how
Mhm.
does these licensing change the opportunities available to subcontract in terms of institutional investors and cross-border operations?
Actually, is a MiCA license is a is good for us, because without MiCA license, we should have got a license of crypto in each country. And it will be very painful because we already need to have energy license in each country. So the MiCA license saved us this, at least 50% of the work. Saved us because we just need to one license, and we can passport it to all of Europe. The energy license, on the other hand, is there's no escape. Like, you have to have localized energy license in each country, which is understandable. So yeah. But even before we go to other countries, we already have products that anyone in the world can buy, which are the NFTs. Because we were also the first to tokenize solar panels into NFTs on a one-to-one basis. So each NFT holder is entitled to all the fruit coming from that real-world solar panel. Okay, so there are two options here. If the holder of the NFT lives in a country where we have electricity license, okay, for example in Slovenia, if you live in Slovenia, you can buy those NFT and consume the energy in your house. Let's say you live in an apartment in Slovenia. You cannot install physical solar panels on your roof because you don't have a roof, right? So you buy those NFTs, and boom, whatever is produced, you can consume it in your house. If you move from one apartment to another, you just change the address, and boom, you are consuming in your new address, just with your NFTs. And if you want to sell them back, you can sell the NFTs on the secondary market. Not like if you installed physical solar panels on your roof, that's it, you cannot sell them back. But so we made the investment in solar panels liquid. This is one hand. But if you don't live in a country where we have electricity license, for example, I don't know where you live, in France or whatever, you can still buy those NFTs, but the energy is sold on our peer-to-peer energy trading platform, and you receive the revenue. So either you earn from the NFT or you consume from the NFT, and the NFT is open worldwide. Anyone in the world can buy them.
Yeah, thank you so much for walking us through and even explaining the NFC part. I was about asking that question. So thank you so much for touching on that aspect. But then these NFTs, is there like a number limit to what you guys are allowing to be produced, or as many as possible could be produced? These solar panel NFTs.
Okay, so each NFT, as I said, is not minted out of thin air. For each NFT, there has to be a solar panel that is already installed and insured somewhere, okay, with a specific serial number and inclination and whatever. So since we were the first in the world doing this, and there was no comfort or no trust in this domain before, we installed our own solar panels and we tokenized them. But the goal is to be able to tokenize third-party solar panels. For example, if people have a solar farm, they can reach out to us and we tokenize them for them. So that's the aim also. And we are not also the goal is not also just solar panels. Our goal is also to tokenize pretty much any energy generating asset or any energy management asset, which, like batteries, for example, we can also tokenize batteries. So we can tokenize any asset that is linked to the energy, that has an intrinsic value that touch in the real world, like here, because electricity is physically produced and physically consumed.
Oh, nice. I think I'm what you guys are trying to do now. And I think this is the first time I'm hearing of a project, making their NFT model in this pattern. And I wanted to ask, so you kind of touched on it a bit. How scalable is the solar NFT model? Could it be extended beyond solar into other renewable energy sources?
Yeah, as I said, I mean, we can tokenize pretty much anything that is producing energy. Wind turbine, hydropower plants, anything, and as long as it's renewable. We are only limited to renewable energy, because renewable energy is is decentralized by definition. Anyone with a little bit of money can invest in a solar farm or solar. I mean, you cannot install a nuclear power plant for sure, but anyone can install physical solar panel. Anyone can install a wind turbine. So yeah, that's our goal. We are able. I mean, we are technically and legally able to tokenize pretty much everything.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So I think have a lot of how does conflict in the
Sorry, couldn't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Oh. Hello?
Yeah, let's just
Can you
give
hear
some
me?
few minutes.
Hi, Amen. Am I audible?
Now, yes.
Okay. So I was asking, how does Sun Contract educate non-crypto users to participate confidently in Sun Contract, seeing that it is a blockchain-based energy market?
Actually, that's a very good question. Back when we started, we have this syndrome of too good to be true, because people were used to only one classical model that is like 100 years old, and they didn't know that there is actually an option that make them pay less money or make them earn more if they are producing. So yeah, we had to educate customers, we had to educate regulators, we had to regulate pretty much everyone. It was a long time, and that's why we existed since 2018. We've been long for we survived. I don't know how many crypto winters, and why we survived these crypto winters, because we are actually using this for something real, for something that is real economy. Whether a crypto winter or not, people are still gonna consume and sell energy. This is one thing. Second of all, by design, they don't need to know what is electricity or what is blockchain or what is crypto. They don't need to know. As I said, the producers are getting paid in euro and consumers are paying in euro. And us in the background, we are converting technically to SNC to satisfy the smart contract. Think about it like you are driving a car. You don't need to understand how the engine works. You just need to drive the car, and that's it. That's exactly how we are making our platform, which is how we are making it scalable, because nobody is need to understand the blockchain they would just want to push a button and consume the energy, and that's it. So that's how we are making it. I mean, not.
Great.
I mean, what I think is that for all of the crypto project, not only us, like in general, for mass adoption, they need to stop promoting crypto as the end service itself, because it will never be an end service for something else. That's what we are doing.
Okay. It's good to see that you guys have strategies implemented for these. So I think this is all the question I have for you. I can see a lot of hands and also questions that have been sent even in the chat. So I think the community is quite inquisitive to ask you some questions about the project. So before I open it up to the community, are there any final words you'd like to give? Sorry, not final words. Is there anything you'd like to mention that has not been mentioned through the AMA, or just something you'd like to say before we start taking some questions?
Yeah, I mean, just our history, maybe because we didn't talk about the history. We did ICO in 2017, and we launched the platform right after 9 months. And yeah, we've been growing since. Now we have 10,000 users between producers and consumers just in Slovenia. Yeah, that's how I think. I think that's the most sustainable way to mainstream the crypto industry is just to embed it in a real project, in a something that it is not. The end service is not the crypto project, but the another service that is using the crypto as a tool to make it economical or to make it scalable or to make it whatever. But it shouldn't. The spotlight shouldn't be on the technology, but should be on the service itself.
Thank you so much for talking about that. I think when we started the AMA, that's why I asked if you could introduce yourself, the team and history behind some contracts, but it's fine. I'm happy you had to mention that again for clarity's sake. So let's have Jeremiah Charles. Jeremiah Charles, you have been unmuted. You can ask a question now. Jeremiah, try leaving the chat and joining again. Probably just some network issue. While we wait for Jeremiah Charles, let's have Jordan Jody. Jordan Jody, you can go ahead with your question.
Thank you very much, Moonshine. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah, hey, Amen. How's it going?
Good, good. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I'm just going to go ahead with my question. So with the solar panel NFT model,
Mhm.
can you tell us how the maintenance, the insurance, and the whole operational downtime is being handled? You know, specifically, who is responsible for the repairs, the performance, the monitoring, the risk coverage, all of those kind of stuff. And can you tell us how the unexpected outages and the underperformance are reflected in the NFT holders
No,
in return?
very good question. Very good question. So Sun Contract is not one company. It's a group of companies under Sun Contract because we before being peer to peer and NFT and all of this, we are mastering the whole supply chain of energy, meaning that we are installers. We have a company that installs solar panel. We have companies for maintenance. We have companies for like we have our own also equipment labeled Sun Contract. So Sun Contract is not just the peer to peer; it's a whole group of companies. So back to your question about who is doing what. So whatever is produced by the solar panel, 20% of that production goes to us to cover the maintenance, the insurance, the operations, everything. And the 80% goes to the NFT holder. So that's why the NFT holder does not care about any maintenance. Even if there is a scratch in his panel, we do the repairs. We do we also replace it if need be. So he doesn't care about anything. I think did I answer your question?
Yes, yes, Amen. You did answer the question. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the answer. I'll
Perfect.
be just...
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that question, Jordan. So Jeremiah, we have you now. You can go ahead with your question.
Okay, am I audible? Am I being heard?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Jeremiah, go ahead.
All right, thanks for the opportunity. Sorry, I was trying to meet myself and finding it difficult. But I'm back, and yeah, I'm ready to ask my question. How is it going, Mr. Himen? Nice to meet you.
Thank you, and to meet you, Jeremiah.
Yeah. So my question is based on user data and privacy. I just want to know, since energy user data is very, very personal, how does some contract keep users' consumption and the production data private while still showing transparency and trustworthy having information on the blockchain?
Okay, because you were cutting a little bit, but I think that I understood your question. You are talking about the privacy in the blockchain in our platform, right?
Yes, the privacy of users' privacies in the blockchain.
Okay, so first, uh, we are energy company, so we have a lot of regulations. One of them, the GDPR and everything that is linked to privacy of the consumers, whether producers or consumers but alike. Second of all, it's a marketplace where nobody knows anybody, so you do not know who is the owner of that solar panel unless you choose to do private deal with each other. So in real life you need to, and you know him in real life, and he can tell you, listen, I want to send you my energy. Give me your username, and I will send you straight your energy. Or you give me your email, and I will send you my energy. This is how you can know. I mean, you cannot know people from our platform, but you have to know them in real life if you want to do private deal. If you don't know them if you don't want to do private deal, nobody knows anybody. It's just usernames and capacity of production and capacity of consumption and prices. You can be buying and selling from anyone.
Okay, Jeremiah, did that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yeah, it did. It did. Thanks very much for that, and thanks for clarifying. That's all I
Yeah,
have. Thank you.
thanks.
Yeah.
Right. Before I get the next question, there's a question in the chat. Let me just pick one or two questions from there before we get another live question. Just give me a moment, okay? So this person asks, are carbon credits or are carbon credit part of the future roadmap?
Yeah, it is part of the future roadmap. Can be tokenized also. So yes, it is part, because it's like we have everything ready for it. We just need to structure it legally. So yes, it is part of the roadmap.
Okay, let me see another question I can pick from here. So someone asked if the NFT is tradable in the secondary market.
Yes, it is tradable on the secondary market. Of course, our NFTs, you cannot find them in OpenSea or whatever. In order to buy an NFT, you have to be on our platform. And it's not because we chose this, because these NFTs are linked to solar panels generating energy. So it's energy regulations. That's why the NFTs are only tradable within our platform for now. Let's say how the things evolve with regulation, and how happy are they with the concept of tokenization. But for now, they can be bought and sold on our platform. Yes.
Nice. Okay, let's get a live question again. I unmuted Gold. So AZ Gold, you can go ahead with your question now.
Thank you so much for allowing me to speak, Moonshine. I have been enjoying the session so far, but this is my question concerning some contract. Some contract emphasizes user empowerment. So, how does the platform practically give consumers more control over pricing and energy choices?
So, if I understood your question correctly, how Sun contract is given the ability to the consumer to select his price? That's the question. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I said some contracts emphasize user empowerment. So how does the platform practically give consumers more control over pricing and energy choices?
So, okay, if I understood correctly, you are talking about how Sun contract platform is given the consumer control over the price and the source. So for that, you as a consumer, for example, first of all, you need to be living in a country where we are present in from energy perspective. So you need to be in Slovenia, for example, and you go to our platform, and you can see multiple producers. Each producer, you can see the source of production in front of him. You can see solar production, wind production, hydropower plant production, and you can see how much he is able to cover your consumption, because some production, for example, they sold all of their production, they can cover only 20% of your need. So and if you like their prices, you click on them, and boom, you are a consumer from that. You are paying that source. That's the technical word.
Okay. Hope that answers your question, AZ Gold.
Yeah.
So much for the question. So a question in the chat here says, I'll just read it out as it comes. It says, I like the car analogy. But with a car, the experience is very clear. You drive from A to B. But for someone new to blockchain, what is the driving experience in Sun contracts? What do users actually feel or gain differently?
So okay, so on what the driving experience on sign contract is, just you are paying the electricity at your chosen price. You go to our platform, and you see multiple producers, each covering some certain point, a certain percentage of your needs, and each proposing a price. You can either choose one of them, or you on your own, you can also issue an order and say, okay, I want someone who can cover 50% of my consumption for the next month, and I only wanted to pay 10 euros. And whoever wants your price clicks on you, and boom, you are consuming at 10 euros. And if there is no one who likes your offer, you can still buy or sell energy, but it's going to be at a market price, because in Europe the electricity prices are some of them are dynamic, so it changes. Spot prices changes. So you either we are giving you the option to choose your source and choose the price, and then but we are also do not intervene in the market, because if you put a ridiculous price, for example, nobody will sell you. Exactly. Also, the producer, if he puts, I don't know, 100 megawatt hour for 1,000 euro, nobody will click on him. So also we are there is a rationality of producers and consumers. So
Yeah, I hope
okay,
that answers
again, back again, because it's a good question. What's in it from producer and consumer, for example? If you remember the normal electricity model, there is electricity company in between that takes a margin. This electricity company that takes the margin is no longer existing in the peer-to-peer model. So whatever margin that should have been taken is now divided between producer and consumers. So now the producer is selling at a higher price compared to selling it at a normal electricity company. And at the same time, that higher price for producer is a lower price for the consumer. Because, as I said, like there is a margin that got divided between the producer and consumer.
I hope that answers your question, Sebastian. So I think that's all the question we'll be taking for today's AMA. We had some great questions in here already. So I don't know, Ayman, do you have any final words to say to the community before we close down the VC? And thank you all so much for joining the VC, for asking questions. Really appreciate you guys.
Oh, thank you very much for the invitation. I would have. I know it's sometimes science fiction that is happening. Like as I said, we have already 10,000 customers. So yeah, I mean that's the very essence of the blockchain. It should be directed towards something meaningful, something that adds value in real life, not just speculation. I have nothing against speculation, Of course, I do some speculation on my private time, of course, but to make it mainstream, Mr. Everybody needs to be using the blockchain without even knowing that he is using the blockchain. And that's where we can say that, yeah, this sector now is mature.
Yeah. I just want to say, Ayman, you really did a great job trying to break down what the project is about with clarity and enough information for every listener and myself to get what you guys are actually building. You know, it takes a whole lot to actually explain a project, especially to those who are new to this blockchain energy-based aspect of it. So I really appreciate you. And to see that you guys are planning to extend even into real life shows how real you guys actually are. So thank you so much. You guys are doing a very great job. You have some utilities that I'm hearing for the first time and how you guys are the first to do it and still doing it so well. Kudos to you and your team.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you so much for
Sorry?
coming to GoldDiggers. See you guys in the next AMA.
Thank you. Bye.